This Pioneer Field Agronomist, Scott Eversgerd, with the agronomy update for the week of April 30th. Looks like Mother Nature has finally given us a little window here to get some work done. I think most areas in southern Illinois have had a chance now to get in the field the last day or so anyway, and finally get some crop planted. From a corn standpoint, getting some questions on populations, on CRM and maturity of hybrids. For the most part, we're going to stay the course as planned for now. As we would approach maybe the end of May, we may look at some slight population changes, or even may look at some hybrid changes by then. But for the next 2 to 3 weeks at least, we'll pretty well stay the course as planned. From a soybean standpoint, again, kind of the same thing, getting some questions on whether we should not be planting some of the late group 3s as we get into May. Again, looking at the same thing, we've had some experience with these late group 3s moving south as we plant later. Of course, last year we planted some of these maturities even into June, and these beans doing very, very well. So on the soybean side, stay the course on maturities at least through the month of May. If we would get into June without some planting, significant planting being done, we may take a look at some maturities, but nothing wrong with the group 3s going through the month of May. Population standpoint, again, stay the course. Really no adjustments need to be made there. If we get into June, may look at making some slight adjustments. From a wheat standpoint, looking at some wheat last week, there's no doubt the wheat is just sitting there waiting to grow extremely fast. With the sunshine over the weekend and some projected warmer temperatures this week, the wheat is gonna explode, so to speak, from a growth standpoint. A lot of the wheat that flag leaves are out, so it is going to take off and take off fast. With that said, that means the application timing for head scab is going to probably come upon us pretty quick. Everybody's going to be busy doing a lot of other things in the field, planting corn, planting beans, and this wheat is really going to come on us fast. So make sure you're making some preparations now, as you got a few minutes in downtime. Be thinking about your scab applications if you're going to do that yourself, or you're going to have that flown on with a helicopter or plane. Probably now is a good time to start looking at making those preparations to get that done. And kind of last on alfalfa, one of our scouts there in Madison County last week was starting to find some alfalfa weevil on especially the southern slopes. So that means they'll be coming into the rest of the fields very, very shortly. Always the easiest remedy for alfalfa weevil is to cut it. But it does look like a lot of alfalfa fields are probably a couple weeks away from cutting, so insecticide application may be warranted instead of cutting. Please watch your labels if you do decide to make an insecticide application for the pre-harvest intervals. They're kind of different for every different product out there, maybe as short as 3 days. But some of them may be as long as 10 to 14 days. So pay special attention to those labels when making any type of insecticide application. And as always, if you have any questions, please contact your local Pioneer rep. Thanks.